It was a successful event at the Girls in ICT for Youth Inclusion on the 10th of August 2020 in commemoration of 2020 International Youth Day with the theme Youth Engagement for Global Action. African Scholar Care Initiatives has organized a massive youth empowerment program for girls between the age of 14 to 26. Their mission is to celebrate the youth together with the induction of 100 girls for an ICT certification course with Digital Skills Institution in Paris, France.
From the Third Permanent General Assembly of the African Union's Economic, Social and Cultural Council, on behalf of the organs and the conveners of this event, I welcome you all to this event, the Girls in ICT for Youth Inclusion, an event that is being organized by Africa Scholar Care Initiative as part of its own contribution to mark 2020 International Youth Day. It is a unique experience, and I'm glad to be part of this. The theme for this year's International Youth Day is Youth Engagement for Global Action. The United Nations in 1999, through its General Assembly, endorsed the recommendation made by the World Conference of Ministers responsible for youth that 12th of August each year be declared International Youth Day. The aim is to recognize efforts of the world's youth in enhancing global society. It also aims to promote ways of engaging them in becoming more actively involved in making positive contributions in their communities. The AU ECOSOC Nigeria recognizes the significance of International Youth Day to, among other objectives, to address youth unemployment and marginalization, which is currently increasing in rapid ways. And this is the most significant problem facing today's economics and society in the world for developed and developing countries alike. Hence, the need for more close collaborations and partnerships, using today's event to create awareness on the significance of girls in ICT for youth inclusion. This is one of the ways to implement the declarations of Mr. President Muhammadu Buhari, when he promised to take 10 million youth out of poverty in the next 10 years. I congratulate African Scholar Care Initiative for contributing meaningfully toward the realization of Mr. President's promise. The African Union recognizes the role of youth in taking the continent to the next level. Thus, it is to analyze various framework and strategies towards youth engagement in the continent. For example, the AU Agenda 2063, the aspiration number 6 places emphasis on the Africa whose development is people-driven, relying on the potential of African people, especially its women and youth, caring for children. The African Union Agenda 2063 is a framework formulated for the purpose of guiding African development in the next 50 years. We also have what is called Comprehensive Continental ICT Strategy for Africa. It's a new strategy to guide the development of ICT sectors on the continent until the year 2024. It's anchored on the 7 strategies, namely post and telecom infrastructure, capacity development, e-applications and services, enabling environments and governance, mobilization of resources and partnership, industrialization as well as research and development. We also have what is called African Digital Transformation Strategies and the African Union Communication and Advocacy Strategies, as well as the African Union's Brand and Communication Style Guideline. The Digital Transformation Strategy for Africa is based on foundation pillars, critical sectors to drive the digital transformations, and cross-cutting team to support the digital ecosystem. It also includes policy recommendations and actions under its fundamental pillars, critical sectors, and cross-cutting team. And of course, we also have what is called African Youth Charter and other visions of the Union. I am pleased and confident that if all hands are on deck for implementations of all these strategies and framework, the youth will be engaged and will be able to achieve Africa we want on or before the target date. I hereby affirm the Africa Scholar Cares Initiative of the AU of support in increasing the number of girls to be empowered for ICT to meet the collective target of youth engagement for global action. Let me use these opportunities of today's event to call on the federal government at all levels, both states and the local government, to leverage on the African Union Project 4Es, that is education, engagement, employability, and entrepreneurship, to build the capacities of youth skills as we collectively build the Africa we want in line with the African Union's Agenda 2063, which is a continental development framework that seeks to provide youth mainstreaming towards sustaining the founding fathers of Pan-Africa revival. I thank you for being part of this year 2020. I pray that we will live beyond the year 2020 and celebrate more International Youth Day.
The event was put together by the African Scholar Care Initiative, championed by the former Miss Commonwealth Queen Miss Joy, to empower 100 girls in ICT. Present at the event were the Honorable Minister of State, Science and Technology, Barrister Mohammed Abdullahi, Honorable Minister for Women Affairs, Dame Pauline, the DG NAPTIP, Dame Julie Oka, actress Humanitarian King Tonto Dike, television presenter Nancy Iloho, African Achievers Award CEO Rex Idaminabo, ICT expert Mohammed Jega.
I'm delighted to be part of this important occasion to flag up this week intensive training designed to empower girls in ICT, organized by the African Scholars Care Initiative. This is highly commendable, especially in such a time that the present global pandemic has revealed more than ever the power of technology to drive, coordinate, and enable business continuity and build resilience in the current situation. ICT, therefore, is an essential component of science and technology, which add value to other areas of research and development. The COVID-19 pandemic has changed how the world functions, illustrating the limitations of many existing systems and highlighting the need to reimagine the role of information technology as a leveler for economic productivity and growth. The development of digital skills is an important part in building resilience to economic and social shocks like those presented by the COVID-19 outbreak. This is already being recognized in Africa, where the acquisition of digital skills can serve as a hedge against unemployment risks. Today, there is a significant shortage of trained female ICT professionals, women accounting for less than 20% of ICT expertise in Africa. This gap needs to be closed by encouraging young girls and women to embrace education through advocacy and sensitization of teachers, parents, and society, and workshops and trainings like this. This training is therefore very critical, and I believe it will offer digital skills programs to equip participants with requisite ICT skills and connect them to opportunities within technology sector to develop solutions and create innovative products to solve day-to-day problems. It is worthy of mention that the current situation has brought to fore the important role of digital technology is playing to mitigate the impact of COVID-19 on youth and social interaction across societal strata. Thus, digital platforms are enabling students to pursue online learning, entrepreneurs to engage in e-commerce, digital economy, and workers to earn income through online freelancing and micro work. These remote opportunities are particularly beneficial for young women and other vulnerable youths who have been disproportionately affected by the COVID-19 crisis. Acceptance and application of webinars, virtual platforms for workshops, seminars, trainings, and e-governance interactions, and increase in e-commerce and online transactions by reducing cash-based activities. There is need to encourage women and girls to pursue ICT careers in order to foster a more dynamic technology sector, create opportunities for empowerment, bridge the gaps, and ensure gender equity. Through learning new skills and using digital ICTs, women and girls have been able to build self-confidence, increase their economic power and independence, and make better informed decisions. In recent years, the ICT jobs are among the best careers going forward, with computer and information systems professionals consistently ranked among the top 20 best paying jobs. Over the coming decades, the experts have predicted that over 2 million ICT jobs will be created that will require professionals to fill. This is an extraordinary empowerment opportunity for girls and young women in today's world, where there are over 70 million unemployed young women. My ministry will continue to work with agencies to promote gender equality in accordance with SDG Goal 5, hence to the creation of a gender desk in the ministry to enhance the technical capacity of female scientific officers. The ministry is also encouraging and promoting science, technology, and engineering, STEM, which is the nerve center of competitiveness and driver of science, technology, and innovation. I therefore welcome you all to partake in our annual Technology Expo and other programs of the Federal Ministry of Science and Technology, organized to promote invention and innovation activities in the country. Recently, the Federal Executive Council, through the Federal Ministry of Youth and Sport, have approved the Youth Investment Fund of about 75 billion naira to be spread the next 3 years to enable youth access funds to support their startup businesses on very friendly conditions and less cumbersome protocols. I urge all our youth to take the opportunity this fund provides to improve on their entrepreneurial skills and capacities to re-energize their abundant talent and as well improve on their economic well-being. May I also congratulate in advance all participants that will benefit from the different training outlines during the intensive 6-week period, and urge them to take full advantage. The training will afford them to pursue careers in various fields of ICT. On this note, it is my very profound pleasure to formally inaugurate and flag off the 6 weeks intensive girls ICT trainings. Thank you and God bless Nigeria.
Thank you, Commonwealth. Congratulations for the good work you are doing and for organizing this very, very important and timely training program for young girls. Representatives of MDAs here present, development partners and civil society organizations, distinguished guests, our youths and beautiful girls of Nigeria, gentlemen of the media. I want to start by thanking my dear brother, the Honorable Minister of State, Science and Technology, for deeming it fit and knowing that this is my constituency. He just put pressure on me yesterday that I need to be here. And because of the love I have for the future leaders and future mothers of tomorrow, I had to readjust my program. I had for 12 and moved it to 1. And I feel my presence here first to honor my colleague and to honor our young girls, that we have a responsibility to support you, to groom you to be better citizens, better mothers of tomorrow. Because the prayer of every parent is to see that the children are better than them. I want to especially acknowledge our host and hostess, Tunji. We appreciate the good work you are doing, and I hope we will collaborate more. We had started, but somehow there was a break in communication. But I want to assure you that we are fully prepared to partner with you. I thank our host, Joy, for the good work you are doing and for organizing this ICT training program. Technology is power. Technology is wealth creation. Technology is what drives the 21st century. And what our youth, particularly the girl child, needs to do is to key into the challenges of the 21st century. COVID-19 has changed our style of life completely, and technology plays a key role in everything we do today. We've broken the protocols of COVID-19. This program should have been Zoom, but we've broken the protocols to be here and to ensure that this training program kicks off. I commend your effort, Ms. Joy, for the good work you are doing, and I want to thank the Honorable Minister of State, the DG, NAPTI, and my brother Tunji for supporting our young girls in this training program. I want to urge you to be fully committed to the training program that is organized for you, and at the end of it all, you would go out not just to use it for yourself, but to organize them, because I pray it will be train the trainer, so that when you, at the end of this, you can organize more to support and train others. I commend this effort, and I pray that our young girls will live up to expectation. The sky is your limit. Technology is here before you. We are all here with the Honorable Minister to give you the necessary support. And I want to assure you that my ministry is fully committed to support our girls and mothers, particularly the girl child. The children, the young girls, are the future hope of tomorrow. And we cannot afford to neglect you. And that was why I had to reprogram my program for today to be here to give you the necessary support and be here in person. Once again, congratulations for organizing this program. I thank you all for being here to support this very, very important program for our young girls. Young girls, well done, congratulations, and keep it up.
Thank you, Your Honor. I'm honored to be part of this program and to make my speech, especially to these awesome, beautiful, bright young ladies and future leaders of our great country. As a woman and a mother who was once a young girl like you, let me place it on record today that this topic under focus is apt and in tune with the order and reality of the day and time, as ITC compliance and knowledge is trending. Hence, whoever lacks knowledge is considered irrelevant in the society and to the scheme of things, and being not in tune with modern day technology. The reason for this cannot be overemphasized or far-fetched, as almost everything the world over is digitalized as against analog. For instance, the typewriters and typists are all gone into oblivion and extinction. Thus, it is only people, and indeed girls, who are well-versed in ICT or possess the requisite knowledge of same are relevant for inclusion in job placements and in every area and facet of the society, including the private and public organizations. Everywhere you go, you find out that the guys are more ICT savvy. So we need to ensure that the girls compete favorably. I keep on saying anything girls do, they do it well, and they even do it better. So there's nothing any longer that, the girls should no longer take the back seat and wait for men. You know what I mean? The pilots, all those areas that, the girls don't go into. Dare to go into those areas. Become pilots, become everything you can, ICT engineers and so on. I'm sure you will do it better. Indeed, many innovations and interventions in technology has made information sharing and communication easier. You need not be in particular part of the world to know what is happening there, as ICT has made possible internet facilities, social media platforms such as WhatsApp, Facebook, Google, Gmail, Skype, Zoom, and so on, possible for everyone to communicate with one another at the same time. In fact, this COVID has made us to know now that you don't need to go anywhere to have meetings. It's cheaper now. It's going to save me so much money now, traveling all over the place, when I can just sit in the comfort of my home and meet with as many people as I want to. And all this is part of technology. The relevance of ICT to the situation of coronavirus pandemic that the world is battling now has brought to the fore that people need not meet physically to deliberate on any issue in need of their attention. The social media platforms are now gainfully utilized for use by people around the world as a means of avoiding physical and social contact with one another, thereby curtailing and controlling the coronavirus pandemic, you know. Furthermore, the gender equality, which is the 5th of Sustainable Development Goals, has enabled women to be part of policy and decision-making procedures to move the country forward. Thus, women are appointed ministers as well as chief executives of government agencies and establishments, even though it is still not enough. The women in government are too few. I'm happy that the Honorable Minister of Women Affairs is here, and she has the ears of Mr. President. So please, you need to tell Mr. President we need more women everywhere. Women can compete favorably with the men. Yeah. In countries around the world, women are also elected as presidents and prime ministers. Therefore, I urge you all to work hard and forge ahead in life's endeavors. Always think like a president and go for presidency. There's nothing wrong with you aspiring to be president of Nigeria. To our dear parents, I urge you to put an end to child marriages and violence against our girls in order to secure their future. In NAPTIP, some of the rescue victims of human trafficking who have opted to be trained in information and communication technology have successfully graduated and now acquired the skills. We have a few of the girls from our shelters, from NAPTIP shelters here today, who are also beneficiaries. Thank you to the organizer for being so thoughtful. They are, you know, today you're going to be empowered with the agency banking, and you're expected to contribute your quota to the development of the society. I urge you not to treat with levity what these organizers have invested in you, but to put it into good use. Finally, I wish you all the best in your endeavors. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
African Scholars Care Initiatives has continued to project the values and virtues of humanity through empowerment programs, especially for youth in Africa, and has continued to support awareness initiatives on the directives and measures needed to curtail COVID-19 in Africa. African Scholars Care Initiatives, under the leadership of Queen Joy, has remained consistently committed to humanitarian activities, especially in education and empowerment of children, youth, and underprivileged persons.
Is to achieve gender equality. Before 2030, how possible is this? That before 2030, women will be more in inclusion. So that is why we are contributing our own quota, because we realize that the government alone cannot do this. We need all hands on deck. All the civil societies, the NGOs, the churches, the religious bodies, everyone has to be on deck so that we can achieve this equality that we seek. On that note, we will not want to go into all the statistics because the time is already fast spent. We all know that there's not enough youth, a lot of youth out of engagement, of employment, or any form of training. So this program here today is here to bridge that gap. The girls are so many and the hall could not take us. And thank you for the ones inside the hall and the other ones on the waiting list. Thank you for the application, because without your presence, we will not have this turnout here today. Thank you for the application. We intend to engage these girls on the following programs: computer appreciation, including cybersecurity, graphic designs, illustration, digital marketing, website design, coding, mobile app development, 2-3D animation, artificial intelligence, blockchain technology, mobile banking as like agency banking. I don't know why. Mobile banking, agency banking. Agency banking is what they empower the women with to make them self-reliant and sufficient after the training. We cannot say we want to set up agency banking for ladies as an entrepreneurship startup without giving them the basic fundamentals in ICT. That is why we have girls in ICT present today. So after the 4 weeks training for the girls, we will have a proper arrangement with the banks and see how we can bring them in inclusion.